You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
The heroes are back. Beards talking balls, rapping pink and black. Coming live from the 305, it's official tissue. The Battered Fan, Chris and Dan, weekly rocking with you. We talk Messi, Boosie, Jordy, Lucho, the Fat Four, to Ben Cram, Noah, Ruiz, Fred. What more could you ask for? Tighten up and get ready, listen in on the pod. Solana and X in Espanol, just to even the odds. Breakdowns and gas bagging, join the tribe and just vibe. Free 99, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't hesitate, say what's up, go ahead and come in. No question about it, I'm ready to get hurt again.
No question about it, I am ready to get hurt again.
Chris, the Herons are back. Welcome everybody to episode number 410 of the Battle Heroes podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Gannett, and alongside me, as always, Mr. KVD. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing better than you. You look like you're connected to 56K modem for a second there.
Am I
like
back?
1990s dial-up. Yeah, you're back. You're back.
Okay.
You're normal now.
The Herons are back. All right. We are waiting for Wednesday's matchup between Miami and Tigres, Leagues Cup quarterfinal. We don't know if Messi's playing. He randomly got thrown out there. It was fun to watch him, but might have flared up that hamstring issue. Shout out to Mr. Duke from Chicago. We like ketchup over here. How you doing, Chris? How you doing?
I'm good. I mean, apparently Pedri's introducing me, letting everybody know that Chris is back, Heron and haters. I mean, I wasn't just at Disney. I went to Disney Springs one day. I went to Gainesville and Ocala. It's not that fun, okay? I went one day.
Did you watch the game on Saturday night?
Yes, I actually did.
What did you think about the fact that Messi played? Because I didn't want him to play.
I think it was a stupid decision to have him play. And by the way, people were asking what university my daughter's going to be going to. She's going to University of Florida. So that's why we're in Gainesville, right? But as far as like why did he play? We're playing the worst team in the league. Like at halftime, I was furious. Danny. If we wouldn't have won, imagine the shit show it would have been after losing to Orlando the way we did as a rival. And then losing to the LA Galaxy, like what in the world is happening?
So you should be happy.
I wouldn't have been happy. Oh, well, yeah, yes, I'm happy that he played. First of all, I'm really upset because he had to play, or at least that's how it seems, right? Like DePaul could have played. Why the hell does he have to sit on the bench looking cutesy wootsy with fucking Messi? Come on, man.
They were resting him and Bryce for today.
Don't give me that. This guy, DePaul played 2.5 games with us. Like, come on, bro. You just got here, bro. What are you gonna complain about your playing time and we got to reserve? Blah, blah, blah. Get out, man. You just got here. You're in your prime, and you're telling me you can't lead us to beat the worst team in the league without Messi? That's a mess.
But you said that you like the thought of rotations, and you said that you wish Mascherano would do it more.
This game, the last game against LA Galaxy, would have been a good game for rotation because we're playing against the worst team in the league. I feel like we could have beaten them without DePaul and without Messi. For sure, I think Messi.
Why are you complaining that DePaul's on the bench?
Well, because like, what are we doing? Why are we benching him? Like, did he get injured? Did he get a knock? No. Has he been playing? I
don't know. All right.
Has he been playing 1,000 minutes? No, he hasn't. He just got here like 5 minutes ago. In the best shape of his life.
Oh, okay. Like I said,
but then he sits on the bench, and we're without Messi and Rodrigo DePaul, and we're tied 1-1 against the worst team in the league. Like, I overheard you guys talking, and you guys were like, I didn't think anything of it. We're gonna kick their ass. No, you're just hoping that Messi comes on and saves us. But legitimately, if Messi didn't come on, like, how would that game have transpired?
I think they would have won anyway. They were dominating. They dominated in the first half. They blew some opportunities. They would have won anyway.
This guy Payne still had us on skates, my boy.
That was
Payne
one
still had
play.
it. He had us on skates, my boy. He was rocking.
No,
he was rocking us.
Oh,
you kidding me? Oh, you kidding me?
Cello had him
Give
in
me
his
that
pocket.
guy.
Chelo had him in his pocket for the majority of the game.
This is a problem against the worst team in the league. This is a problem.
Whatever.
No,
I was okay if we would have dropped points, if we would have just gotten 1 point. Like I really didn't care. I was more worried about Wednesday's game because in reality, yes, Chelo does have pockets, and he was shutting
yeah, and
down.
they got
Painter.
picked all game.
He shut down Painter the majority of the game.
I don't know. I don't know about shutdown. I don't know about that. I don't know about shutdown.
Everybody's gonna remember the one play that Painter got him, and look, granted that was nasty, but for the majority of the game, no, he did not. What the hell are you guys watching?
Painter was putting the work on this guy. You kidding me? Give me Painter over Allende.
Right.
What?
Well, obviously, dude. You didn't watch the game? You're fucking lying. You didn't watch. No, you didn't. You didn't watch the game. If you don't think Chelo shut down Painter for basically the whole game, and Jordi Alba shut down Peck on the other side, they did nothing.
Jordi Alba did.
And Chelo did the other thing. No.
Yeah,
What everybody remembers is that one play when Painter undressed Chelo and Lujan, and that's what everybody remembers. They forget every other. What else did Painter do that game?
Painter was on one. Okay, he was on one. Danny, give me that guy. Over Allende, give me that guy.
Oh, he's one of the best wingers in the league. That's why it was impressive what Chelo did for him for the majority of the game.
Chelo was okay. He's a decent MLS right back. And look,
right.
The fact of the matter is, regardless of Painter or no Painter, Messi had to come in, do Messi magic, create a beautiful assist that's like going to be seen as one of the best assists ever in the MLS. And then he had to create on his own a beautiful goal. Messi is literally Jesus Christ in human form. But we could have beaten this team without Jesus.
Yes, we could have.
I'm just saying, it's the worst team.
Okay.
That's a problem, Danny.
What's a problem?
That Messi
like
had to come on
right now.
That Messi had to come on and save our asses.
They could have won without him. And even, but look. Okay, I'm not gonna keep doing this because we're just gonna go back and forth.
Could we have won without him? Yes or no? Yes or no? That's it. You're done.
Okay. So, all of that aside, just talking about the fact that we had Tigres coming up and he was coming off of an injury. Do you really expect anybody to say yes? Shout out to Lamar, because everybody else is just going to go with the no. All right. Do you really think, you got me here tongue-tied now. I'm not talking about the win or the loss. I don't care about winning or losing on Saturday against Galaxy. That doesn't matter. My question to you is, what did you think? I thought the same thing, Pedri. I thought that this game might end in a draw without Messi, and I was okay with it. But would knowing the game that we have coming up against Tigres, like, shouldn't he have rested? Shouldn't he have gotten the extra 3 or 4 days?
He should have rested. That's number one. And we should have kicked their ass.
Oh, God.
A tie or a loss would have been unacceptable.
Nobody cares about the result against the Galaxy. I'm just talking about Messi's health. And I'm kind of annoyed at the fact that it doesn't take precedent and people aren't making sure that he is in tip-top shape for the important games, which is Wednesday against Tigres.
Yeah, they're rubbing his hamstring now. Thanks for the
whole game. The whole game. And then the thing is, I was like, you know what? If he's going to play, which I really don't want him to, all right, run him out there for 20, 25 minutes. 65th minute, that's cool. Jesus Christ, man. They put him, he was warming up in the first half. They put him into, like, man, I really wish they wouldn't have done that. Now, I haven't heard any updates on if he's going to play. There is no answer on that yet. I haven't heard anything to suggest that he won't. But I am annoyed that he ended up getting into the game.
Yeah, I mean, because apparently we needed him to play against the worst fucking team in the entire league to win. Like, a tie or a loss was so unacceptable, and we had to bring on the greatest player of all time to play against the Los Angeles Galaxy in their worst form ever. Unacceptable.
I'm so freaking glad that you weren't on there in the post game. I think I might have broken my computer. When you get on these annoying streaks, you are so unbearable. Unbearable you are. So going into Saturday, if we don't have Messi, which would be a huge blow, and we have our guest coming on in a couple minutes to tell us about Tigres, because from all accounts, it sounds like they are the best Mexican team left in the tournament, but we'll ask Luis when we bring him on. I think that we are in trouble if Messi isn't playing. But what do you think the starting 11 without Messi should look like?
Without Messi, why are you saying that?
I said if he doesn't play, sir.
That's also an unacceptable option. Look, hold on. Before I answer that question, Mitch is asking a good question here. He says, what if Messi wanted to play, demanded to play? What do you say to him? Right? Because he calls the shots.
If he's literally demanding it, I mean, I don't know, but
you ban him from the stadium.
The saying goes, you have to protect players from themselves, right? That's the saying.
That's your job.
So I would hope that you can, as the coach or the owner, whoever it is that has to talk to him, can tell him, hey, I know that you love to play. Let's put it on ice for 3 days because you got the big game coming up against Tigres. But I understand what everybody's saying. If he wants to play, it's kind of hard to say no to Messi. But you would hope that you can protect him from himself.
Okay, so looking at this lineup that you have here, right? I'm assuming this is the lineup that was in the last League's Cup game.
Correct. This is the lineup from the Orlando game, I want to say.
Okay, all right. So I can work with this. I don't like Ustadi there. I feel like if you already have Rocco playing the League's Cup, just let him play it out, especially in the form that Ustadi's been in. But whatever, that's neither here nor there.
He's gotten beat near post now 2 games in a row.
Yeah. I mean, look at the goal he took in. Like, he literally this much space and he got megged. Guys, whatever. So the back line, I'm okay with it, right? Ian Frey, I'll star him over Cello, okay? Because Cello got destroyed by Paintsill, okay? Destroyed. And then the middle, I'll take this because Bright has been playing really well with Busquets. Now, Allende, we got to do something about that, bro. We can't. This whole stretching the field thing, this guy, that's all he does. He's got the fanny pack, like you said, one tool in that fanny pack. One trick
pony. Yeah.
Now, what would you think about starting Belisario Machuca, aka Baltasar?
I would like to see that. I think that the little bit we've gotten to see, I feel like every time that he touches the ball, he kind of stands out to me. Like, you see him play, and you're like, you know what? This kid got something. And you know what? And I'll take it further. I would start Fafa over Allende. I thought Fafa had a good game.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. After seeing Fafa these last 2 games, literally beef all game with Luis Suarez.
I'm pretty sure it didn't come out on TV, but you know, you and I are right there, right behind the goal. They were yelling at each other. At one point, Fafa started pushing defenders as he's yelling at Suarez. Like, they were really verbally going at each other.
There's something there that is just like filled with like this angst or like this vitriol because they're just not meshing well. So I don't know if it's maybe that Luis Suarez expects more from Fafa, or he's just like, dude, you're garbage. Like, you're not on the same level as me, and you think you're that guy. And listen, it's not that he's racist, Lamar. I don't think it's that he's racist. That's like, come on, we can't just jump there. Like, I get it, right? I mean, a lot of people do see and say that he somewhat is or whatever. I don't know about all that, but I think it's just he's expecting better, and nobody's on his mental level.
When Fafa misses a pass or takes a shot where Suarez felt like he should have passed, Suarez, like, that's the thing about Suarez, and that's what annoys me about Suarez, because he does the Higuain. It's just that he's better than Higuain. But Higuain used to be the same way. He used to, just like verbally attack his teammates. And in my mind, I'm like, how are you helping the situation? Like, I don't think that this is gonna help anything.
Well, I think one of the biggest I don't understand how he beefs so much with Fafa. Fafa plays so little, and Allende is just coasting right next to him.
No. Allende is the only player I've ever seen Messi yell at, and Messi has gotten sick of his shit too. Allende is. I would take Fafa over Allende, but yes, I am with you. Belisario Machuca should start, aka Baltasar Rodriguez should start in place of Allende. But I do think that we should keep DePaul out wide, match up Bright with Busquets as the pebble. Actually, we should go to the 4-2-3-1, where you kind of have either DePaul or Segovia running that 10 role. Yeah. I like Segovia at the 10 role more, but I like to see that. And then what do you think about the fact that Noah Allen didn't get to start, and instead we got Lujan and Falcon?
Well, I mean, I think it makes sense because Noah Allen did get injured and he was out for quite some time. So maybe they want to save him and let him sort of recoup, safely
on Wednesday.
So I think that he's going to get the start on Wednesday. I mean, they did with him what they should have done with Messi is fucking take him out. Mm-hmm. Don't even have him there. Put him in a suite, this guy. But no, we needed him to beat the worst team ever.
We didn't need him, dude. Montreal is better than the Galaxy, and didn't we beat Montreal without Messi just a couple weeks ago?
We needed Messi to beat Painso. That's what we needed.
All right, I'm done with this conversation. All right, so we're ready to start talking Tigres, and for that we have our man Luis coming on. Where you at, Luis? There you are. What's going on, Luis from Tigres in English? How are you doing, sir?
What's up, guys? Great to be here. Doing great, man. It's always good to chat with like-minded individuals that love the game. So happy to be here.
Yeah, man. The last time you were on here, it was last year's Leagues Cup, where we lost 2-1, but there was no Messi. So you might see a Messi-less Inter Miami again. But while thank God Chris is leaving, because Chris is pissing me off today. So for the time being, Tigres, how are they right now? Because some people were saying that they're not the best team in Liga MX. Obviously, historically, they are one of the top teams. What kind of form are they in at the moment?
Well, we're coming off of a pretty nasty loss against America, a game which we kind of controlled for about 40 minutes and then let the game get away from us, and we ended up losing 3-1. Before that, we had been red hot. We've scored about 20 goals in the last 7 matches. So scoring in bunches. We beat Puebla 7-0, scored 4 against Toluca, which is one of the best teams in the league right now. So we've been playing really well, except that we did lose on Saturday at home, which was a disappointing result.
Okay. And as far as they're running the Leagues Cup, now I can't remember off the top of my head, what group were they in? Who was it that they had to play? And did they beat all 3 teams?
We started out against Houston. We beat them 4-1 at Shell Energy Stadium. Then we flew over to San Diego, beat them 2-1, and then had LAFC to close out the group stage, which it's a game we lost 2-1. Yeah, so that was a frustrating game for us, and then headed back home. So overall, decent play from the guys in Leagues Cup. I thought they did well. There was a lot of issues in the flight going into California. We missed 2 flights, and guys had to sit in the plane. So there was a lot of things happening in the logistics that kind of affected our play. But overall, I was pretty happy with how they performed.
All right. Now, before we get into the specifics of how the team plays and all that, do you guys care about the Leagues Cup? Is this something that the fans and the team itself are looking forward to and want to try to win? Because I know I've talked to a couple Liga MX people, and they say, "Oh, we really don't care about it. We kind of just want to continue with the early part of our season." Is this something that you, Tigres fans in general, and the team itself care about?
For the most part, I think there's not a lot of importance placed on the tournament itself. It's one of those tournaments where if we lose and go home, it's not a heartbreaker. But to me, with the format changing, with it getting more attractive, I think it's a tournament that eventually we're going to want to go for. And what better time than now, right? I think it's getting to be a fun tournament, one that the fans enjoy. But like I said, it's not like a CONCACAF, for example, that there's a lot more on the line. There's not a whole lot of money on the line either, so there isn't that attractiveness where you're gonna get paid some good coin for it. But from a fan perspective, I think the fans seem to be enjoying it more and more each year.
Now, I would ask you who the X factor is, but everybody has made it a point to bring up Angel Correa. What could you tell me about Angel Correa?
Fantastic central attacking mid, guy that can play as a center forward, but can play attacking mid, can link up the play. He's just really talented, ex Atletico Madrid guy that can score in bunches if you don't cover him well. So he's going to be a guy to definitely watch out for. He's extremely skilled.
It's crazy. I was overhearing you talk a little bit about the tournament and how you guys are kind of like, well, it's if we win, it's great. If not, it's back home and we just proceed accordingly. I mean, things are starting to sort of pan out, like you said, a little bit more to where I guess the League's Cup is finding their footing. I would think that since you guys are kind of like pretty deep, I guess, in this, that you guys would be looking forward to this hardware.
Yeah, definitely. The more you advance, the more invested you become as a fan. Last year, we made it all the way to right before quarterfinals and got bounced by New York City FC, which was really disappointing after having a decent group play. So I think it's one of those tournaments that where if we continue to advance, I think the fans would get more into it and you get more disappointed. But for example, losing against Miami now, I don't think would break a ton of hearts. I think it would be something the fans would understand with the talent that Miami has.
Yeah, it's one of those things. If you get to the semifinal, you're like one win away from being in the final, then that might hurt. Tigres, as far as the formation that you guys play and tactics, because we, and I would assume you don't, but we suffer playing against very defensive-minded teams that kind of play the low block and just look for the counter. What kind of game do the Tigres play?
Well, you don't have to worry about the low block against us. It's not a priority for our coach. It's not something that we would implement in this kind of game. Our formation tends to be a 4-2-3-1. We have played a 5-4-1 in the past, but traditionally this season we've been playing mostly 4-2-3-1. And you'll be surprised, but we play a lot like Miami. We're a team that prioritizes possession, likes to play clean out the back. We like to play through the middle with, a good midfielders. Like you guys, you use Messi to distribute the ball a lot in the middle. We have a guy, Argentinian named Juan Brunetta, that does the same for us. So the styles are very similar. It's actually going to be a really attractive match because in a lot of ways, I think the middle third is going to be like a heavyweight battle. There's a lot of good midfielders on both sides. So I think it's going to be a heavyweight bout where there's going to be punching back and forth, different, people taking leads and possession and dominating that area for a while, and then maybe dropping and then ceding the possession to the other team. So I think that's going to be really interesting to watch. And honestly, this game is going to be one that comes down to how well the backlines play. I think that's where it's going to be decided which backline makes the least mistakes.
Well, and it's funny you mentioned that because as you were explaining how you guys play, very similar. That the first thing I thought of was the midfield is where the game is going to be won or lost. Basically, it's just a chess game until somebody blows it, and then all of a sudden we have our winner. Is there anybody that we should be worried about on the team? I mean, especially in the midfield. That'd be interesting to know. That would make a huge, colossal difference on your end.
There's a lot of quality in the midfield. You got a Uruguayan named Fernando Gorreran who is now moved in. He was an attacking midfielder for Santos,
midfielder, huh?
but he's now more of a holding mid, but can go box to box. Juan Brunetta is another guy that kind of dropped into that double pivot slot, and he's also an attacking mid that kind of converted into a more defensive role, but can go box to box, sort of like Rodrigo de Paul can do, like Busquets, who can drift into the sweeper role and then move up and play that midfielder holding mid role. So you have Bruneta, you have Diego Lainez, who you
Bruneta
guys
had
probably
a
remember.
goal in the last 2 games.
Yeah, he's been red hot. Touches the ball a lot. He's the one player that we look to be able to play out the middle. So there's a lot of quality. As I mentioned, Angel Correa, for example, but then our forwards tend to drop to be able to link up the play. So there's a lot of numbers. We tend to overload the middle third to then be able to distribute the ball and press.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really interesting to see how Miami counteracts that when we have like 5 guys in the middle third, 6 guys in the middle third.
People don't really expect it from us because we have Messi and Suarez up top, so they don't expect the heavy pressure. But we like to press high. We bring that back line up high also, but we like to press high and try to force you into turnovers. How is Tigres playing out of the back? If they get pressed, are they susceptible to making those bad turnovers? Because if they're not, then you guys are going to cook us on the counter because we're going to give you space in behind.
It's funny that you mentioned that because we also like to do that as well. We like to
Okay.
force turnovers when teams play out the back out of their initial third. So the guys are very good at playing out the back. There's some really good passing center backs. We got a guy named Juan Purata, who you probably remember from Atlanta United, but he's very good with his feet. He's a great passer. Then we got a Brazilian named Romulo Zuareg, who's also a great passer. And then our fullbacks are really wingers that have kind of transitioned into the fullback role. So they're excellent dribblers, good passers. They
push up
do a
high?
lot of they do a lot of
Offensive-minded.
overlapping runs. So that's going to be interesting as well, Daniel, because
Jordi
they
Alba.
do tend to push up and then leave space behind. So it's going to be interesting, that dynamic in the transition when we're attacking and then we transition defensively. Now you got space in behind us. How are you going to exploit that? If you have speedy wingers, you'll have space right there to be able to attack quickly.
Well, and that's the Jordi Alba conundrum we have because he pushes up high, he leaves that space up. Now he had a great game this past weekend against Gabriel Peck, which you worry that he's going to push up high and not get back to defend, but he did. That's the best overall game I think he's played at least this season. I don't know, maybe last year also. So he's going to have a lot of heavy lifting to do. And now, just real quick to Chris and the chat, I'll ask, knowing that they are dangerous down the wings and their fullbacks have those overlapping runs, would you start Cello or Ian Frey, knowing that if you push up too high, because you know that Ian Frey pushes up a lot higher than Cello generally because he is better in the attack, would you have Cello start or would you have Ian Frey start, Chris? And I asked the chat the same question.
I'd rather have Ian Frey start just so that way we can kind of keep them on their heels. Because if you have Cello starting, you know that the winger on the left side is going to know he's not going to have to experience too much of Cello attack.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, for defensive purposes, I guess Cello would be the right answer. But I also would say, hopefully, Aviles doesn't see the pitch because, like he just mentioned, the Tigres does high press as well. And Aviles, in my opinion, is probably the worst center back when it comes to trying to evade pressure.
Yes. Yeah. That was a huge Achilles heel for him last year. Whenever he would get pressed high, he would have costly turnovers. So yes, Toto Aviles is not somebody that you want to start in a situation like that. All right. I was going to ask you another question, and I just kind of got sidetracked with my own question. Now, if you were to say that you have a strength, what would you say is the strength of Tigres? No, I'm sorry. Before I ask that, what about the goalkeeping? Because I see Guzman is the keeper, but he doesn't look like he's the hottest stuff right now.
Now, Guzman is coming off of a bad game against America. The third goal was actually an own goal that was his fault. Ball went between his legs. So he's not coming off of a great game, but he's an excellent keeper. He's a really experienced keeper, really good penalty kicker. So he'll be interesting if this ends up going to PKs. He's going to be interesting because he's a bit of a show. He draws a lot of attention to himself. So that'll be interesting if that ends up going down that route.
So you just mentioned all the details that we would mention about Ustadi up until you got to penalty kicks. That is where I would say Rocco is where he lives and dominates. Mitch says here, This honestly could come down to pens, and Tigres has that maniac in goal. So there's that to look forward to.
And then Bella Bella is asking, is Piovi still coming to Miami? Yeah, but he's not going to be here for Wednesday. So yeah, he is. He's coming.
Cruz Azul guy, huh?
Yeah. Which everybody that I've asked have all told me that he is really good. So we'll see. I've heard that about other people that are coming into the team to play on our back line, and it hasn't worked out. But I guess
he's solid. He's solid.
Okay.
He's a very physical guy. He's big for the back line. I think he's a good one-on-one defender. I think he'll do well in the MLS.
Is he slow?
I don't think he's slow. No, he's not like speedy, but he's not. Right. He's definitely not slow.
Because that's the issue that we seem to have. Because, for example, and I don't know if you know, Falcon is somebody we got from Colo Colo in Chile. He's Uruguayan, and everybody's like, he's so physical. He's great. Yeah, but we play a very high line, and the weakness there is that if you can't get back defensively to defend the counter, you could be great. You're probably good, but in this style of play, you're not what we need. So that's my worry. That's why Noah Allen has been better than most other defenders on the team, because he has the pace to get back into position. Right. Yeah. So, like I was asking you before, strength. What is the strength of this Tigres team?
The wingers, very, very good dribblers, attack the fullbacks a lot. Our wingers are really good at linking up with our center attacking mids, pairing up with our forward, making good crosses. We do have Osiel Herrera is a really tall type of winger, skinny, kind of lanky, but excellent dribbler, good in the air. So on set pieces, he's very good. He'll join in on the attack, like on a corner. So he's a guy to watch out for. When he's dialed in, he's really tough to defend. He tends to be a nightmare against fullbacks. And Diego Lainez, you guys probably remember him from the national team when he played for Mexico. Short little guy, but dribbles really good. Tends to be aggressive, attacks the fullback. So that's going to be an interesting matchup, because he's going to be going up against Jordi Alba. So that'll be kind of cool to watch. See how that goes.
That might be the matchup of the game. That and like you said, the midfield. I think Yannick Bright and Rodrigo De Paul are going to be huge, because you know what you're going to get out of Busquets. But De Paul and Bright, De Paul being that box-to-box midfielder, covering all that ground, distributing, creating, and defending, and then Bright being that ball stopper in the middle. Those are going to be. It's going to be a fun game. I'm really looking forward to it. So, if you were going to tell me what weakness Tigres has, what would be the weakness of the team?
Defending the counterattack. Like if you watch our two losses this year were against LAFC and America, and both teams played us in a low block, waited for the space to open up behind the center backs, and just killed us. That's our one problem, is that we don't have a lot of speed. Like you mentioned how you're worried about fullbacks not having enough pace. That's our problem. Like our fullbacks, Javier Aquino, as you know, he's a guy that has a great motor, a lot of stamina, can go all game and not get tired, but he's older, so he doesn't have the wheels. So if there's space behind, if there's ever a point where Miami has to like play in a low block and then counter, there's going to be space there. Thankfully, like the Brazilian Romulo Zuarg is very young and very, very pacey, and he tends to kind of cover for him. But having a center back shift to the wing to try to cover the fullback then opens up space in the middle, and that's where Messi kind of tends to rule. So there's going to be a lot of interesting little gaps in the game, and that's why I say I think it's going to be like a heavyweight battle where there's punches back and forth, and it could end up being a high-scoring game.
I'm interested in how this is going to play out, Chris, because whenever we've played teams like Luis is describing Tigres to be, where they also like to hold possession, Mascherano has kind of deferred sometimes and kind of tried to play the counter. He did that in the Club World Cup. He does that every time he plays against Wilfred Nancy and Columbus, and that has worked well. So I'm kind of curious if he's going to change things up and maybe just try to play the counter, especially if it's the only weakness that Tigres have.
I mean, it could work with Messi, right? Because Messi gets the ball and he's just shooting straight up and he's going and everybody's following suit. But if Messi's not going to play because we needed him to beat the worst team in MLS, right? I mean, I don't know what the hell's going to happen, Danny.
Well, look, let's be very transparent. I think that
this is the best. Hold on. This is the best comment by Pedri Potter I've ever seen in my whole life. Pedri, you get a good comment award. All this tactical analysis and preview in the end, it all depends on Messi.
Like I was saying, I don't think that they needed him for the LA Galaxy. We beat them without Montreal. But when it comes to a game like this, absolutely Messi will make the difference, because if Messi's not playing, in football, anything can happen. But I definitely wouldn't bet on Miami if Messi's not playing, because we're fighting an uphill battle and we need everything to kind of fall our way, because the Tigres are a deep team. Is Gignac, whatever is that 50-year-old guy, is he still playing?
He's still on the team, but he no longer starts. He usually comes in, plays like 20 minutes to kind of close out the game. We got an Argentinian named Nico Ibanez who has kind of taken over the role.
Yeah. All right.
Is Messi fit to go the full 90, Daniel?
If he's going to play, he's going to go the 90. Now, I mean, this past weekend, he only played the second half because he was just coming off of a hamstring injury. And again, hamstring injuries, those muscle tissue injuries, they constantly come back and bite you in the ass. Yeah. So you need to rest it as much as possible. That's why I really thought it sucked that he didn't get those extra couple of days of rest. During the game, he constantly was doing this. This is what he was doing. This.
Yeah, if he's reaching for it, it's still not fully healed.
All game long, whenever there was a stop and play, he would turn around and do that. And when you seen him do that for the better part of the second half, you're like, God, like obviously it's not 100%. So it stinks that, but I'm hoping that he's still gonna play, and maybe he'll tough it through. But who do we play this Saturday? Whoever we play, he better not play that game. If we somehow
we play against DC United.
Oh my God, another bad team. No, he better not play that game. All right. So I saw people in the chat talking about the question. So here it comes. Lewis, I'm throwing the question at you. People say it's creepy, but I'm going to ask anyway. You ready?
Go for it.
All right. Hypothetically, let's say that you are a degenerate gambler and you decide to bet the house on Miami. You're like, you know what? This house, all on Miami, because I know they're going to win and I'm going to get me a second house. And then Wednesday morning comes, and then you get a weird little feeling in your stomach. You're like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I kind of regret doing this, but that's it. It's too late. I can't go back. So I need to make sure Miami wins. So you go ahead, you get on your private plane, you fly over to Chase Stadium, and you find Mascherano, because for some reason you have access to him. You walk up to him, and you whisper in his ear, "This is how you beat Tigres." What are you telling him?
I'm telling them that I'm going to play a 5-4-1 with the speediest formation I got, and I'm going to go play straight counter the entire game. I'm going to frustrate the midfielders. I'm going to go after them. I'm going to be tough. I'm going to play South American ball on them. So they get frustrated, pick up yellow cards, just make it a nasty game, and I'm going to wait for the perfect time to counter. With Messi, with the speediest mids that I got. So that could be, who do you guys have? The speedier guy is what? Fafa?
Fafa.
So we got a guy named Allende that we could just throw up top and he could run for years.
Yeah, so I'm playing the long ball to Messi, have him distribute quick lightning counterattacks, and that's how I'm playing them. Because the Tigres team, the reason they're so bad at defending the counter is because they tend to get frustrated when they can't break the low block. They tend to pick up unnecessary yellow cards due to, becoming hotheads. And then they also tend to fall asleep, right? You're so focused on attacking that you forget to defend properly. And I think that's the biggest problem, is that the fullbacks tend to push up way too high. They forget they need to cover the back. And now you've got 3 or 4 opposing players coming at your 2 center backs, And so that tends to happen a lot for us. So that's what I would do.
I like it. I like it. And I'm hoping
Talking
that.
about,
Go ahead.
no, go ahead, Danny. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I hope that he does what he did in the Club World Cup, and when he plays against Columbus, let's just play the counter. Let's play the counter because obviously, especially if Messi doesn't play, that's the only hope we have.
Talking about degenerate gamblers, I put $5 on a 5-game parlay, and every single game hit except for stupid ass New England. That would have won me like $2,000. Sucks.
It does suck. I was gonna say something, but then Chris threw that out there, and I completely forgot what I was gonna say.
Sorry.
You've been throwing me off today, man.
I don't know what to tell you, bro. I'm just living.
All right. That's it. That's all I got. Tigres, do you guys have any cool traditions?
Cool traditions.
Like
No.
like Club America. So our guest came on. Is like, oh yeah, I think it was like the 20th minute or something. We throw like smoke bombs everywhere when we play in the United States, and then it never happened. We're like, what the hell? He's lied. He's a fibber. So I wonder, do you have anything?
For game day, we have at the stadium, the announcer will yell "¿Quién va a ganar hoy?" and he does it 3 times in a row, and then the crowd chants "Tigres." And then during the game, obviously the supporting has a lot of like chants and stuff. But at the 70th minute, they normally turn on their flashlights and do the whole light show thing.
Oh, nice.
So that's usually another tradition that's kind of developed, kind of more modern. But the whole pregame one where the announcer gets on and says, "¿Quién va a ganar hoy?" and the fans all just reply from the stands, that's been going on since I was a little kid.
Nice. The supporters group have
nice.
a bunch of chants, but that's one section. The rest of the stadium basically has just one chant.
Yeah.
What's the chant, Chris?
Messi. That's it. Messi.
That's our chant.
But you know what? I'll give you credit though, Lewis.
They do a great job. They have a bunch, but like the rest of the stadium is just basically just one chant.
Yeah, I mean, and Stancy says it here, the Messi chant is also so, and it's even lamer when he's not on the field. So
that's all we got.
Yeah.
I'm hoping when the new stadium opens up, we can figure out a way to get some different chants for the entire stadium to join in on. But right now, La Familia kind of holds it down with their original chants, and then the rest of the stadium just kind of does the Messi thing.
Is the new stadium going to be closer to Miami or no?
It's in Miami. Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
Good.
It's literally next to the airport, so it should be a really cool.
It's in Miami
view,
proper.
When you are landing for a flight, you're gonna see it right there because it's. Have you ever been to Vegas?
Yeah.
Okay, you know how you see the strip when you're landing in Vegas? That's how you're gonna see the stadium and the whole surrounding area. It's gonna be really cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Right now it's an hour away, so whenever we go to the game, we drive over an hour. But yes, it's going to be in Miami, right next to the airport. Very cool. And then real quick, for everybody asking why we whisper in people's ears, how are you going to go and just start telling like, hey, Mascherano, this is what, like, come on. Like, this is like, hey, I just bet on you. I got to keep this on he's not texting him. He doesn't have his phone number. So he's got, hey, come on.
Yeah, come on, man. Easy access.
All right. Lewis, we appreciate you taking the time to join us to talk some Tigres Leagues Cup.
What do you think the score is going to be, Lewis? Because I think
we did a prediction. I'm sorry.
You guys won a game, scoring 7 goals. That scares me.
I think it's going to be high scoring. I think both teams are going to score in bunches. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this is like a 4-3 or a 3-2 game.
Ooh, that would be fun.
And I imagine you think Tigres is going to win.
Here's why I think Tigres might win. Just because I feel like our back line might hold it together a little better than yours.
Yeah.
Like I trust
question mark.
I trust Romulo Suarez and Purata more than Falcon and who's your other guy? Noah
Allen.
Yeah, I think I trust my center backs just slightly more. Not too much more though, but slightly more. That's why I think it's gonna be high scoring. I think both back lines are gonna concede quite a bit. And then we'll see. Like, I know your goalkeeper is prone to errors. Our goalkeeper is prone to errors too. So that'll be interesting to see which goalkeeper steps up the most.
He hasn't had the best of games since he came back from injury. He had a debacle against Orlando, where it's probably one of the worst games I've seen a goalie have. And then when we beat the Galaxy, that wasn't a very good game either, even though he only allowed one goal, but he only saw like 3 shots. Like, it was really bad also.
So a lot of people predicting ties. Danny, which way you going?
If Messi plays, I think we win. I'll say 3-2. If Messi doesn't play, I think we lose 3-1. We'll get one. But I unfortunately, as much as it pains me, I think that we're I don't know. Well, we'll see.
Danny, if Messi doesn't play, it is completely unacceptable. And I'm going to throw bombs onto the field like Club America does for their, celebrations and stuff. Okay.
But they ended up
it's
being a lie.
unacceptable. Well, but I'm just saying, okay, I'm going to throw bombs or whatever. I'm not going to say that. I'm not really going to throw bombs in Miami. Don't ban me from the stadium because I have no bombs to throw. But Messi, he has to play, Danny. There's no if Messi does and if Messi doesn't. Like, what you're saying is really unacceptable. So we're winning this game 3-2 with Messi.
Let me ask you guys, how many games are left in the season? 7?
No, for us it's, I want to say 10.
Okay,
we have 3 games in hand.
Now, like, hypothetical scenario, you play Messi, he's not 100% for this League's Cup. He goes full 90 but gets injured and you lose him for a good chunk of the rest of the season. Would you be okay with that? The reason I'm asking this question is because I want to see how much you value the League's Cup over the local league.
Well, if he gets injured, then I don't have him for the semifinal and the final. If you're talking about the final and he plays the final and you could tell me I win the final, but then he misses the next month, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I don't give a crap about the Supporter Shield. The playoffs don't start until November, basically. I'm okay. Give me the League's Cup trophy and then let him rest for a month and a half, 2 months, and then let's go for the playoffs. But I really don't care about the regular season.
I guess I'll take it, right? I mean, we win League's Cup again. He'd still have a chance to get into the playoffs and play, hopefully, in 100% without having to play LA Galaxy, the worst team ever in MLS.
Yeah, no, I want the MLS Cup, but look, because a lot of people say like, oh my God, but the next couple of weeks could jeopardize the MLS Cup. No, it can't. The MLS Cup final is literally December 8th. Like, that's 4 months away. Like, we're good. Like, just focus in on the League's Cup and then rest for the next 3 months. I don't give a crap. Just get this one and then rest for the next month or two, and then let's go for the playoffs. But like the regular season, I'm not worried about. The only thing I like about the regular season is that it gives me a chance to have home playoff games, and that I would like. And for that, we need to be high up in the standings or the Supporter Shield.
I'm with it, Danny.
Hey, Luis, what do you think about the fact that there is no Pro Rel now in Liga MX?
I hate it. I absolutely hate it. The problem that we're seeing because we got rid of relegation was that now you have a bunch of mediocre teams in the bottom that don't provide any kind of anything to the league.
Quality.
Yeah, no quality, and they don't even have good fan bases, right? It's either teams that have never built good fan bases or their fan bases have abandoned them. And what made promotion so awesome was that you got to drop the worst team and bring in a team that, that could potentially compete. And so you lost that magic. To me, it was terrible. And you're rewarding, without relegation, you're rewarding mediocre teams, mediocre management, mediocre front offices, presidents that are not willing to, and owners that are not willing to invest in their clubs fully. So, we're starting to see the separation in the league because of it. So now you have really like 5 really strong teams, and then the other ones are starting to drift away. You got teams like Querétaro, Santos, Mazatlan, who are not really doing a whole lot. Puebla, you could throw in there as well.
And those teams didn't exist before that?
Well, Mazatlan, for example, came out of Morelia. What they did is that they bought out the franchise, moved the team over to Mazatlan, and they've never had a team. Like, they've never had fans. So it's a completely new fan base. I'm not against new teams, new fan bases. I mean, Austin FC, for example, got a team and they seem to have some good supporters, but without any true investment from their owners, Mazatlan is never going to be anything but a mediocre team. And
Yeah.
what they've shown so far is that they're not willing to fully invest in it.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I mean, Ricky
Yeah.
says it incentivizes cheap owners.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, it'd be nice to get just real owners that want to spend and win. And then the last question I'll ask you is the Necaxa. Well, is that like a big story over there in Mexico now that they have the whole investment from Ryan Reynolds and Eva Longoria and Rob Mack?
Yeah, and
Necaxa has a small market team, kind of think like Kansas City, for example.
Okay.
But they are starting to make waves. They are starting to kind of make some splashes. Their name gets floated around more. That's a team that does have history. So that is a team that will grow with some good investment. So that, to me, I was happy to see that. I'm glad they're getting a show. I'm glad they're getting exposure because it's a team that has a lot of history within the league. And hopefully it's a team that becomes competitive because in the 90s, that team was amazing. And so I would love to see them get back to that level again.
Hey, Soccer Daddy's saying the Necaxa documentary is good, so I'm gonna have to check that out for sure.
All right, Luis. Again, thank you for joining us. It's much appreciated. Please let everybody know where they could listen to you if they want to hear more about Tigres.
So weekly, either Monday nights or Tuesday nights, we go live on Twitter at Lewu Times Podcast, and then I'm on Twitter. My handle is at Tigres_English, and usually I just keep up with the team and the news surrounding the team, and you can find me there pretty much every day.
Much appreciated, Luis. Chris, do you have any final words?
We need Painso. I don't know what to tell you, Danny.
Hey, this guy's been going back and forth all night. LA Galaxy is the worst team in the league, but he wants and covets their winger.
Yeah, that's it.
I'll take that. I'll take that guy for. I mean,
obviously, he's making quite the difference, as you can see in the standings.
Well, I mean, he's making a difference on his team. It's just the rest of the team blows chunks. But we need a Messi to beat their blow chunk ass team. If
you want some more Herons talk, make sure you tune into Las Garzas. It's going to be starting in a little under 10 minutes. So if you haven't already, make sure that you go to that channel, Las Garzas. If we have the show coming on, we're going to be talking about the game. I'm already blanking against Galaxies. Of course, how can I forget? Chris has been talking about it for the last hour. The Galaxy will be talking about Tigres, and we'll also be talking about Drake Redondo leaving, and then this little Mascherano Cremita back and forth that's been going on. So we'll be talking all of that on the Spanish show. So if you want to hear a little more Herons, make sure that you tune in for that. Like I said, it'll be coming on in about 8 minutes. With that said, if you're listening on audio, we appreciate you listening all the way to the end. Please leave us 5 stars, comment, review, all the good stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. And for those of you in the chat, as always, you guys are the best part of the show. We appreciate you hanging out with us. And for V Vega is asking Spanish or Spanglish. No, it's Espanol. It is 100% in Spanish. No Spanglish. It's 100% in Spanish. So, and if you don't understand Spanish, you're free to jump on for the vibes. If not, you could watch it a couple of hours later with the English subtitles. Much appreciated with everybody, and we will be back. Oh, and tomorrow night, for those of you that like hearing about the MLS, we're going to be on. Oh, my God, I am blanking on his name. Chris, do you remember his name?
No.
Is it David Grass? Oh, my God. Well, we have a guest coming on.
While you look that up, guys, check out the Battle Wrestling Fans podcast. If you guys liked wrestling, a lot of you guys asked for it. Guys, check it out. It's finally here. Weekly shows talking about wrestling, and it's something that you guys asked for. So check that out. It was a really good show. Danny and Tommy one time, and I forgot the name of the other gentleman. I didn't familiarize myself with him. Yeah, Tommy. So check that out, guys.
And then tomorrow night, David Gass. I said Grass. It's David Gass from Soccer Wise. He does the podcast with Tom Bogart. He's going to be joining us on the MLS show to talk about the transfer and all things MLS. So make sure you join us tomorrow night at 9 o'clock for that. So with that said, we'll be back for Battered Herons for the post game after the game on Wednesday night. So until the next one, have a good one.